G'day guys and welcome back to Talking 4x4. This is episode 2. Our special guest today is probably one of the most creative people that I know, and he has actually helped me create a lot of my content, a lot of the cool ideas, especially when it comes to advertising my winch blankets. More on that a bit later. He's no other than Alex Garner from Intense Off-Road. How are you, Alex?
Hey man.
Going well?
Yeah, going all right.
That's good.
Pretty happy to be here.
Yeah, well, what do you think of the studio? I've changed it up a little bit.
First time I've sat this side of the lights. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's
a
not
bit
bad.
flasher than the old shed setup we used to sit in.
Oh, the old garage, the messy garage.
It's been a while, hasn't it?
Oh man. Yeah, lucky there wasn't too many ladies watching that, because all the comments would have been about how messy it was.
Yeah. Well, that one time I had my fly down.
Is your fly up? Just check.
I checked that before, don't you worry.
All right, I think you need a beer.
Oh no,
You already
she's
got
good.
one. Okay.
She's a heavy hitter, this one too.
Yeah, it is.
It'll keep me going all
It's a
evening.
nice one. That's a limited edition one too, by the way.
Yeah, I'm milking it.
So the topic today is all about when to move on to a different four-wheel drive. We're going to dilly-dally dive around what to leave on your car when you sell it, reasons why you should sell it or consider selling it, and reasons why you should keep it. All those things are going to come up shortly. But before we get to that and we get our third guest in for our discussion, we're going to do a quick get to know Alex.
Hit me with it.
You ready for it, mate?
Yeah,
All right.
I'm ready.
So tell us about yourself and what it is you do.
Oh, about me. I guess there's a lot to know. I do video. That is my living. That's my day in, day out. I have a YouTube channel as well. I started a couple of years after you did, but primarily what I do is advertising video, especially in the camping, outdoors and automotive area. So I do advertising videos from concept, scripting, storyboard, shooting, editing, delivery, the whole way through.
What's your favourite part about creating all this content and advertisement, like filming and editing?
I gotta say, I do get a kick out of when people enjoy that initial product, seeing it come out. But really, it's got to be the whole process. Someone comes to me with an item and says, "I want a cool video on this," and then my mind just gets to go wild. All my best ideas come to me in the shower. So I've got an ongoing joke with Ronny if he says, "Oh, how about we do something on this?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll get in the shower."
Yeah, it's actually very true.
I need a whiteboard in that shower so I can scribble down my ideas, because I've had to turn off the water and run and scribble down these things. But it's coming up with that initial idea that I really enjoy.
What's up next, your birthday or Christmas?
Christmas.
Okay, well, it might be a while before you get your whiteboard then.
Yeah, it might be.
A shower whiteboard.
I tried it for last Christmas, didn't work, so still have to run from the shower for it. But yeah, I really enjoy that concept thing.
Cool.
But then at the same time, using the camera to bring the concept to life.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know you quite well, and I know that you like four-wheel driving. I know you love camping, and I also know that you do a lot of hiking. So first of all, which one do you prefer, the four-wheel driving or the hiking?
It's always been the four-wheel driving. I've drifted a little bit more towards hiking lately because with everything, jobs, hobbies, I get bored eventually. I know a lot about it, and then it's time to go and try and learn something else. So I've been getting a lot out of just throwing some stuff in a pack and hiking up bush and roughing it and learning some bushcraft. But for me, the whole experience is getting out there and getting in touch with the land. It's not so much about the vehicles. It's great to have a vehicle well set up and a nice camp set up, but it's about trying to get in touch with your surroundings, the birds, the stories of the land, whether it's from indigenous stories going back 60,000 years, even colonial stories, so settlers and all the hardships the settlers endured trying to settle this country. So I just really enjoy learning about the land and the stories.
Okay, well that covers my next question. I was going to be, why is camping so important to you? But there we go.
There you go. 2 in 1.
Final question before we get to our topic. Who is your favourite bushman?
My favourite bushman.
Your favourite bushman?
I think it's around Les Hiddens, but also an old fella called Jack Absalom. He's no longer with us. He just used to do it so simple. An old Mitsubishi, I think a Sigma or a Magna was one of the things, and he'd be out going up the Fink River, all out in these desert places. And he's an artist as well, so a painter, so he'd take all this stuff in his Sigma and paint these desert landscapes. Huge amount of knowledge in the bloke.
Didn't expect that one. In a Sigma, right?
Yeah, all sorts of things back in the late 80s.
Yeah.
So it was a bit more popular to get around in two-wheel drive vehicles then.
It's funny that, because when I first started full driving, I was in two-wheel drives. I'd imagine you probably do a bit of the same. You go down those gravel roads, you go look for those campsites in the two-wheel drive. Like,
yeah, don't get very far.
Yeah.
Always got that looking up this track, going, oh, I wonder what's up there. Better not, I might get stuck.
Yeah. Or those corrugated roads, you're constantly adjusting that mirror.
Oh yeah.
You know, like in the sedans.
The whole thing sounds like it's going to fall apart.
It does, eh?
Yeah.
The whole dash, everything.
I took a little Suzuki Ignis down a corrugated road once.
Yeah.
That was rough. It was not built for that.
No. I remember you used to have a Subaru as well. Yeah.
I did. Yeah.
We'll talk more about cars very soon, but speaking of cars right now, we've got a new segment, guys, and it is called My Rig. So this is a perfect example for you guys to send in a video which we can feature on this show right here. You get to show your rig to the rest of the world who's watching this channel. It's called My Rig. It goes for 2 minutes. Let's check this out.
Hello from Florida, Ronnie. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to show off my 1996 Land Cruiser 80 series with the 1FZ FE engine. Check it out. Everything under the hood is stock, with the exception of my second battery tray. What you're taking a look at here is the 24 valve straight 6 or inline 6 gasoline 1FZ FE Toyota Land Cruiser engine. And this one has 415,000 miles on it. So my front bar, for example, it's not a name brand. It's from a guy here in Florida who imports them. This has been my daily commuter for the past 4 years, and at one point I was driving about 120 miles a day. I hit 4 deer, and the only thing that happened was this piece came off the right-hand side. That was it. It's the only casualty. The winch I've got is the 12,000 pound Badland winch. So looking at the roof rack, that came from the same guy that that I got the bumper from. SoFlo bumpers, if you want to look him up on Instagram. You can. Not a name brand rear bumper or bar, but it's doing great for me. Okay, this is my rear setup. I've got 2 drawers from Landshark Outfitters. Left hand side, I carry tools and some bits and pieces. In this drawer, I have my cooking stuff. My rear battery or house battery is a 130 hour AGM battery, which I have right down here. It gets charged off of the front battery system via this BC to DC charger by Red Arc. This is a great piece of kit. I have a little 20-inch flat screen TV that I sometimes take with me when I go camping, and I just hang it right. Thanks again, Ronnie, for letting me do that. It was hard to do it in 2 minutes or less, so if anyone has questions, I'd love to answer them. Thanks a lot.
That was Nathan King.
Yeah, what a bloke.
The parody expert.
Yeah, he's had a go at both of us.
He has.
Yeah,
He's had a
done
go
a
at
good
quite
job.
a few people, actually, in a fun way. So, guys, if you have not seen some of these parodies that Nathan King's done, and you've watched some of my stuff, some of Alex's stuff, or anyone else, check it out. It's pretty hilarious. But that car, how many Ks did that car do, man?
Yeah, 668,000.
Yeah, it was crazy, man.
120 miles a day.
And what did he say? He hit 4 deer and just a bit of plastic came off.
Yeah, not bad going. Pretty tough old brick. I'd love to know what he uses the TV mount for. I mean, obviously a TV. What does he watch when he's out there?
Yeah, 20-inch TV. Maybe watches NFL.
Yeah,
Maybe
you better pitch in down in the comments there, Nathan.
Speaking of 80 series, we're going to bring in someone who used to have one about twice as heavy.
Yeah.
Let's bring in Harry. Harry from Fire to Fork.
Hi, mate.
Good.
What a bloke.
Oh, what have you got in here? You got any little
Go for it, mate.
little presents in here?
Go for it. It
Oh.
might be a couple of pirates or something in there. Harry has jumped in, second special guest, and he's going to help us with our topic of when should we move on from our vehicles and when should you just stay with your vehicle and what bits and pieces do you need to leave on it. A lot more stuff coming up in this topic. I reckon we just dive straight into it. Alex, take it away, mate.
Yeah, cool. All right. Let's start with the most obvious thing, when it's too old. When starts costing you a fortune.
And let's get
Yeah.
into detail on that because I know Harry's got some figures here.
Well, these ones hurt a little bit, I'll be honest. So my 80 series, I did some maths. Don't recommend maths when it comes to old cars. I had that thing, it was in 1991. I had it for 7 years. It cost me, granted, included in this cost is about 30 grand worth of modification, retail. It cost me $100,000 to own for 7 years. That's
100,000.
100,000. So repairs alone, we're talking 70,000. So 10 grand a year in maintenance. That is a lot of money.
Okay,
Yep.
but when you put it to 10 grand a year, I don't know. It doesn't sound that bad when you do it that way, right?
$200 a week.
Okay, that's on top of your fuel.
That's not fuel, and that's not.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah,
on top
like
of your fuel.
that's actual
Maintenance.
just keeping the thing afloat. My current car costs me what $1,000 a year.
Okay.
So you're saving $9,000 a year every year. Over your 9 years of $63,000. That is a lot because my car's under warranty. So if something does break, it just gets repaired by Toyota.
Yeah. Fair call. Fair call.
I did. I went through 3 gearboxes, 3 front diffs, 4 transfer cases. I mean, like a lot of stuff. Head gasket. 80 series is supposed to be bulletproof, but they're not cheap to own.
Alex, do you think he has a problem with the way he drives that car? That's a lot of parts.
Maybe a little bit.
Actually, I can't talk.
And that's the thing. So, like, you're probably pretty similar in your 70 series.
Yeah, I've broken a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd be on a similar figure, I reckon, in terms of repairs, retail price.
Actually, yeah. Chris
And that's
is
for a brand
operating
new
the cabinets
car.
today. We did the Holland track and it cost me $5 grand.
There you go.
Rear diff,
Yeah.
front seals, gearbox, main seal to the motor.
Yeah.
Man, that was an expensive trip. Wheel bearings all round.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, I should also mention that was largely me doing my own maintenance.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you're not doing your own maintenance, it's going to be a hell of a cost.
it is
Yeah.
a hell of a cost.
Yeah. No, it really adds up really fast. And so after a while, you just kind of go, well, like, what the hell am I doing? I understand that not everyone has the capital to outlay for a new car.
Yeah.
But when your car is costing you that much, I mean, I'm happy to say I financed my car. I couldn't afford the whole amount. So, we financed it because it actually ended up a heap cheaper, even with finance. And also at the end of it, so I bought that car for 20 grand, I sold it for 25. It cost me 95 net. I'd prefer to buy my car, now for like roughly 80 grand and sell it in a few years' time for, roughly 80 grand. but obviously with a lot of money put into it. But that kind of thing.
But you do a lot of full driving as well.
Yeah.
As much as what we do.
Yeah.
How come you haven't broken much? Don't say petrol. Don't say Nissan.
That's probably part of it, but
Yeah.
I'm such a tame driver. I don't have muddies on there.
Okay.
I don't go out for the challenging stuff. I always just take it quite easy. So I reckon a lot of it comes down to that, and I'm not nearly as heavy as both of you guys.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
Very true, actually.
Very true, yeah.
I think that weight has a lot to do with it.
Yep.
Yeah, like when you snapped that axle in South Australia,
Oh, man.
all that weight, towing
Yeah.
a trailer up a hill, like
Yeah.
all that weight.
I reckon
does
I was pre-stressed as well from before
Yeah,
because it went so easy. Remember
Yeah.
that?
yeah,
Years of stress.
yeah. But they seem to reach a point. You have a brand new vehicle, it's fine, then all of a sudden, bang, it's probably just outside the warranty period actually. Things just start going. And I think that's when you have to start looking at, is it a daily driver? Can I afford to have this thing off the road while I fix it and wait for parts all the time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or do I have to keep paying someone to fix it every time something breaks and it just starts adding up? It might be time to move it on.
I guess it's also the nerves. Like you're on a really remote trip, right? And something goes wrong, like in the Flinders when I broke that axle.
Yeah.
Or Harry, what about yourself when we were actually the most remote possible
Yeah.
in the Pilbara at that time?
Yep.
Where was that?
Rotorua
Desert
River.
Queen Baths.
Yep. Desert Queen Baths, which is a serious trek back, and I did a what's the name, harmonic balancer,
Yeah.
which kept working, but it was pretty wobbly. It got us home, but if it hadn't, But we've been pretty buggered.
Yeah.
Someone's taking about a 7-8 hour drive out of there to get you a part.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or towing for a long time.
Yeah, or towing it out, drain all my fuel into one of your cars. But you certainly wouldn't. I got to the point where I didn't want to do solo remote trips in it anymore. And that was kind of like, well, what the hell do I have it for? And then, of course, the real reason I got rid of it was safety.
Yes, well, let's talk about safety and take it away. Give us those reasons, because it could be quite interesting for some people, I think.
Yeah, look, one of my friends was killed in a car almost identical to mine. They were on their way up to see us. They flipped twice, and one of my friends broke 12 ribs, 2 skull fractures, and he was the and 2 spinal fractures, and he was the lucky one. My other friend didn't make it. And it was a real eye-opener. And we just said, well, if we can get finance on a new safe car with a 5-star safety rating, in that particular circumstance, she would have survived had there been a curtain airbag, or if they had stability control. One or both of those things would have saved her life. And that's a real eye-opener, because you kind of go, well, I'm a good enough driver, I don't need safety aids and blah, blah, blah. And then you get tired, and then someone else needs to drive. And then, or you do screw up, or whatever. What if someone else had hit us, or we'd spun out, or whatever? It's the fact of the matter is, when it rolled, it didn't have the safety equipment to protect the occupants. Anyway, I won't go on too much about that, but safety was a big thing. We've got a kid on the way. We're planning, we're trying to have kids and stuff like that. And I just thought, well, I don't really want to put my kids in a car like that. I want to put them in something that's actually got some safety equipment.
Yeah.
So you can. People say you can't put a price on safety. You can, absolutely. There is a point at which if it was a stupid jump up money wise to get a safer car, then you might look at it and drive less or something. But the reality is, these days it's not that expensive to get a safe car.
But give reasons why you would keep one. So,
sure. I would love to keep one as a weekend warrior. That I'd just chuck it on 35s or 37s, put a bit of a lift in it, keep it light, and I'd love to off-road it because it's got nice thick panels, solid axles, factory twin lockers, all that kind of good stuff. It'd be really good fun. That'd be good. But I also don't really do that. I'd love to keep it as like more of a farm car. If I had a farm, that would be a great reason. Also, I actually think they're going to go up in value. I mean, mine actually did go up in value. I think that there are some actual good reasons to keep them. Keep an old car, and 80 series, 60 series, 40 series, that kind of thing would be a good reason.
Totally, especially like a weekend car. Like those people who keep like a Mustang or like an XY GT or something like that. It's your weekend car. You're not going to daily drive it. Yeah. One, you don't want dents in a bloody thing because it's such a pristine vehicle. And I think the 80 series will eventually head towards that. Yeah. You've got like the 60 now, you got people do them up and go travelling, which is all good and well. And those vehicles, they're kind of easy to get parts for. You can get them from the US and get them from Australia. I think Terrain Tama make a lot of those old parts still.
Yep.
A couple other companies as well, maybe. But what if it's like an old vehicle that's not a vehicle that has a lot of parts here? Say, for instance, like Jeeps, XY Jeep, you have to get parts from America, right?
Yeah, the XJs and the TJs and that kind of stuff, they're getting pretty long in the tooth these days, and it would actually be quite hard to, like in America, easiest thing in the road, easiest thing in the world to keep on the road. You've got a million parts. In Australia, not so much. And Australians are very particular with their brands. I mean, we only really have a large number of like Nissans, Toyotas, Holdens, Mitsubishis, basically Japanese and locally made cars are kind of all we have. There are bugger all American cars here, really, and bugger all European cars. So to keep like an old, I don't know, even an old G-Wagon or a Range Rover on the road would be really expensive.
Even an old Land Rover, even.
100%.
Like a Defender, even like the old ones. You don't get the parts
or
here.
A new one.
So not, so as cool as they are, right? Look. You'd need a support team, or you need to have parts with you if you're going to do the Canning stock route or something in an old car like that. Because if something goes wrong, It's not just driving to town and get a part sent from somewhere.
Yeah.
It's like, mate,
Yeah.
get it from America, get it from England, air freighted. You're looking at big bucks. By the time it gets here, then courier it out to where you are.
Yeah.
Your trip's over.
I'm interested to see what happens with the Grenadiers, but we'll maybe talk about that later.
Oh, the Grenadiers.
Yeah.
When they come down.
Yeah. Because, you know, like how they're going to go for parts and things like that.
Yeah, yeah.
They're still quite a new car. That'll be interesting.
I think they'd have to have some kind of setup here. But we'll get to those kind of cars. We'll get to electric cars as well later, I reckon.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, because we're talking about moving on from the cars, and we're entering an age where the electric car is...
It's getting viable.
It's coming.
near there.
I don't think, certainly where we live in WA, I don't think we're going to go full electric anytime soon for remote travel. But I think hybrid is really, really bloody close. And hybrid has also been around for over 20 years, and Toyota do it really reliably. And I think I'm personally not anti-hybrid at all. People say it's too much stuff to go wrong, and they said that about the 200 series and the 100 series, and every time they bring on electronics, and it happens every single generation. And I think that Toyota's got a very good, reliable, sealed hybrid system, and I think that will be actually really good long term. The thing I really want, and I know it'll void warranties, but how cool would it be to be able to tap into that hybrid system and get rid of all your red arc and your lithium batteries and all the rest of it, because you've got a giant, 1,000 amp hour lithium battery built into your car, and you can run a bloody Westinghouse in the back.
It won't take long for that.
Full electrical setup. But,
that's the
use
thing.
too much? Crank that stereo too much?
Yeah.
Might be waiting for a while.
No, but that's the thing with hybrid. You just start the car. Who cares?
True.
I'm not talking about electric.
Yeah.
I'm talking about hybrid.
Yeah.
Like, I love the idea that you could have, and they've got crazy big alternators. So you charge it, I don't know how many amps, 500 amps or whatever, and just crank that thing full.
Yeah.
How awesome!
Well, we dipped our toes into hybrids and electrics, so let's just dive into it.
Should we just do it?
Yeah. But before we do that, though, or in relation to that, say for example the Grenadier.
Yeah.
It is the latest vehicle that's going to come out, right? It's not coming out till probably this year or next year, right?
Yeah.
That's going to probably be released, I'm guessing, around the globe. And I know that Australia is a place where they want to release it too.
Yeah.
Now, this being specific made for off-road, this will be one of the only cars released at that time that's not hybrid.
That's very true, actually. I mean, the 300 series, I think the first generation, they're not planning to do hybrid. But they will, I'm sure, shortly afterwards. So, but yeah, you're right. It'll be one of the very, very few that won't have a hybrid option. And I wonder how much that will hurt them. I also look at the market and think, probably not that much. The people, you're really appealing to people who buy G-Wagon Professionals, 70 series and Defenders. They are not techie people. Like, they're the people who are anti-tech. They're trying to get less tech in their car.
Yeah.
And so, I don't think it'll hurt them sales-wise.
No, I don't think it will either, because it will appeal to the guys who want something made for off-road.
Yeah.
And I think this thing is far more than just a motor. I'm pretty excited to see this thing coming out, and if I ever get the opportunity to test drive the Grenadier, I'm just sticking my hand up already. So,
mate.
If you guys are listening.
Me too. One for me, please. One for me. Yeah. I'll cook you dinner. I'll do whatever I need to do.
Yeah, give us a couple of cars. I reckon that'll be absolutely amazing to actually get a car that's actually designed to go off-road. I reckon it'll be freaking amazing. But what I think is even more exciting is the fact that we're coming into hybrids. Can you take the Rivian? That's an electric car. It's not a hybrid, but it's an electric car designed for travel off-road. Yes, the range isn't very good yet, but stuff improves all the time. Like if you go back, if you go back and look at LEDs, how crap were they early days?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were totally crap.
I was listening to a podcast today, and there was a science around solar panels, and they're saying about how the first to run a light globe cost $10,000 on a solar panel. This was back in the 70s.
Wow.
And so they build, the more you build, the cheaper it gets, the better it gets, and it's just snowballing. Like, it's a exponential effect of it getting cheaper and better. And so the same thing's got to happen with electric. Australia seems to be quite hostile towards electric from everything I see and hear. People hate the idea of it, the range anxiety, there's no charging stations, but there's 1 or 2 people adopt it, and then 4 people, and all of a sudden it just rolls on. And the solutions are going to come.
Innovation
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
will happen from use.
Yeah.
So yeah, I reckon you're 100% right there, because you'll start with a hybrid. So everyone's freaking out. Like when you talk about people and they're freaking out about electrics, they're going to be crap in Australia. And I think we were probably saying this at some stage as well when we first heard the idea. We thought that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
How are you going to charge it? Thing is, a hybrid, you can carry as much fuel as you want.
Yeah.
It's a hybrid,
Yeah.
and you can still charge your car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're probably going to get further anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
But
You just get better
eventually,
fuel range.
they can be probably predominantly electrical.
Yeah.
And there could be, I don't know, innovation, something that we don't even know may exist later, like in a form of a generator, so you can run fuel
Yeah.
to drive your car when you're running low on energy. Who
Well, what
knows?
excites me is the idea of hydrogen fuel. So you can fill up just like a normal car gas into there, and it's not a combustion engine that burns hydrogen. It's a fuel cell that converts it to electricity.
Yeah.
So it would be nice to see that develop.
Once again, it's the infrastructure that's the problem. So at some point, the governments and the corporations need to make a decision. Are we going hydrogen or are we going electric? And it seems to be full steam ahead with electric at the moment.
Yeah.
I'd love to see hydrogen happen, but at the moment, it definitely seems like it's full steam ahead. Have you guys ever driven a fully electric car?
No.
No.
I've driven a Model S, Tesla Model S long range, and it is the best car I've ever driven.
Okay.
It is blisteringly fast, like nothing I've ever driven. I've driven R35 GTRs, I've driven Ferraris, Porsches, Lamborghinis, fast cars. This thing is so much quicker. It's beautiful inside. It's not that expensive relative to its speed. It's got a nearly 700k range. My mate drives it down to Margaret River and back. He doesn't even touch the steering wheel. Like, what a bloody car. You can literally put it in Mad Max mode and it weaves between traffic for you. When I got back into my, pretty bloody expensive car, I was like, I'm driving a billy cart.
Damn.
Like, this is an absolute piece of crap. What the hell am I doing? So I love the idea of having an electric car. Again, it's just the infrastructure, and I think at some point, like you said, there's going to be $10,000 or whatever it was to run a light globe.
Yeah.
I think at some point there's going to be a big leap in the technology that brings us from that 700k's range to that kind of 3000k's range.
Let's just put this into perspective. When LCD TVs or LED screens first come out,
The plasmas, yeah.
yeah, the plasmas, $50,000 for a 50-inch screen.
Yeah.
We're all at, I think it was Harvey Norman or maybe even Archie Martin Vox at the time, we're all like in awe going, oh my God, look at this
Yeah.
TV.
Yeah.
How cool is this? You go home to your box, right? A year later, same TV, 10 grand,
Yeah.
right? Another year later, 5 grand.
Yeah.
Now you can pick them up for a couple $100.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
this one down here.
We just got a 75-inch Samsung TV. Cost $1,800 for a 75-inch 4K Samsung TV. Like,
It's
Yeah.
crazy. So
Price there.
the analogy is, you got a Tesla, very expensive top-end car, because that's what they got to build, right?
yeah.
Because it's got to be nice, it's got to be appealing, people buy it, and that is the beginning. So, say a couple of years' time, like 2022, that's when you're going to see a lot of hybrids come out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have either of
Even-
you guys seen Jaunt Motors?
No.
No.
They're over east, might be South Australia, doing old Land Rovers, converting them to electric.
Oh, fantastic.
Really neat. They've been working on it for 4 or 5 years probably. Just starting to release some models now, so they sell either a package, convert your own, or they can take your old one and do a full ground up restoration with electric conversion.
Yeah, okay.
Did the kids change my ringtone or something? No, it's not mine.
Yeah.
I'm picking it
It's
up.
crickets.
Yeah, you got a cricket under around there somewhere, I reckon.
I thought it was someone's phone.
Got a cricket
No.
station.
It's a fucking cricket. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Have you got a legit cricket in here?
Yeah, I must have. I was just...
Noise, or is it? No?
Nah, it's alright. I'll get a lizard. I'll get some bearded dragons.
Get a lizard.
We're still recording. I haven't stopped recording.
I'll get a cane toad.
It sounds like it's under your seat. Like,
Literally does.
Oh, are you joking me? Oh, no, there's a bit of fluff. It looked like a cricket.
is it?
There's a bit
What
of
is
fluff.
that? What's that under your thing?
Yeah?
No, under your chair.
What is that? Did you put that there? Who's it from? Hello from... I can't, it's stuck to the thing.
Hello from Nathan King in Florida. It's a cricket noise that he sent me to put under your chair.
Oh my God.
It was under the rhino hard for most of the video. I was like, I'm amazed he hasn't been triggered yet.
Bloody triggering me the whole time.
What the? That is hilarious.
You're here asking.
It goes for 8 hours.
Asking, who's gonna buy the 300 series, and then I hear that.
Okay, shit.
He's found it. I think you have to open it up to make it shut up.
But does it just go every now and then?
Yeah, it goes for 8 hours though.
Drive me nuts, eh? Oh yeah. It's got glitter in it too.
I know.
Oh, right.
It's supposed to be a glitter bomb, but you were too careful.
Well, it didn't get me there. Quite good.
Yeah, no, fair enough. It's alright, Chris has been rolling the whole time.
Has he? Oh, right.
Mad respect, but it's just
Well done, Nathan.
convenience glitter.
That's great.
It's not like stick to your ball sack for a month glitter.
Man, you got me from how many k's away? Well done, mate. Well done.
That was very good.
I'm gonna send you a beer
I
somehow.
enjoyed that.
All right, I would see this fluff here. It would look like a cricket. It's playing my mind.
It's an actual cricket in here.
Made it last.
Oh, so we're still rolling, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You're looking at getting another car, and you have options. Your choices are hybrid, full electric, combustion. Harry, you go first.
Hybrid for me. Yeah. Extended fuel range, ability to tap into it, all that kind of stuff. They've been around since, I think the first Priuses came out in like late 90s, and they have been bloody reliable since in Toyota, and I probably would get a Toyota anyway. So yeah, no, I've got no problem with the hybrid. I don't see what the issue is with them. You know, like why wouldn't I have that instant torque, that extra fuel range, all that kind of stuff? And yeah, no, I think I'll go hybrid next. What about you?
Yeah, I'd say much the same, except I have never owned a new car in my life. I always buy second hand. So combine that with the fact that I never jump on a new engine or vehicle first. I always wait until the next generation, the Series 2 or something like that. But I'd definitely look to jumping to a hybrid, probably a second hand when they come onto the market at a price that suits me.
Being a patrol owner, wouldn't you want to wait for the Series 5?
Yeah, probably.
Yes.
I'll be on the same line with Harry, with definitely not, probably, I wouldn't say definitely, because I might get too excited and actually go for Series 1, but
Yeah.
I would rather wait and see the teething issues.
Yeah.
Every single car that comes out has some kind of teething issues. Doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily mean all Series 1. There's
Yeah.
always a batch.
Yeah.
Like you look at DPF in Toyota
Oh,
Hilux.
Yeah.
You look at early 70 series,
Yeah.
burning oil and...
Yeah. Look at the early 200 series. They had all those massive alternator issues and all kinds of airbox issues.
patrol dashes.
Any
Patrol
3-litre
dashes,
patrol
any 3-litre
engine ever made.
Yeah, so
grenade.
they've still haven't got through their teething issues now.
Yeah.
You can still buy a brand new ZD30.
Unless you get a low Neva, then it doesn't matter when you buy that.
Yeah.
But you know, I go back to look at the big companies that have done their research and worked out how these things, how new cars go versus second-hand cars. If BHP thought they could get 25 years out of a car and it would be cost-effective by rebuilding it and doing whatever they need to do every few years, they would do that. There's no way they would just buy new cars.
Yeah.
So they've obviously worked out that it is more efficient and cheaper and more reliable, less downtime to buy new cars, and particularly for someone like me and for you who 100% rely on their car for our work. Like when I didn't have my Cruiser for 6 weeks, it was brutal. I lost a lot of money, a lot more than the gearbox cost, I can tell you. So it was those kinds of things that, you know, that's why I've gone new now, and it's why I'll probably continue to buy new cars and just run them for a few years and get rid of them.
That makes total sense. So you look at Rio Tinto, you look at BHP, they turn the cars over 100,000 Ks.
Yeah,
Because
whatever they do,
downtime, maintenance.
Yeah.
The public can worry about it when they buy it later.
Yeah, yeah. And then, you know, that's where the resale starts to drop off and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know, you know, and then people go, oh, if you keep it, it'll be a classic one day. You're like, yeah, but you got to keep it at $10,000 a year for 30 years. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, unless you store it in a shed and just let it dust.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And
fix it up when it's worth
even a car sitting still bloody deteriorates.
Yep. Well, I think we can go for final statements now, because I think we've really covered this quite well, I'd have to say.
I think that pretty much was my final statement. I think in terms of like, I'm now on team. Use it for a few years and sell it.
Sure.
Because of reliability.
And let someone else love your car.
Yeah, and look, I would 100% go and buy myself a classic at some point.
Yeah.
And use it very little.
Yeah.
But for my main car, I want pretty new or new.
Yeah.
Alex?
Yeah, I guess to summarise, I'm team buy it second hand and maintain it. But yeah, there does come that point where it's got to be time to move on, and that might change down the track. Yeah, life circumstances and stuff.
So buy a second-hand car that hasn't been abused by Harry or Ronnie.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Don't buy that. I might add one little extra thing though. I always spend good money on the accessories I can take with me to the next vehicle.
Oh,
That's a good point. Yeah, it's a very good point. The two of my most expensive accessories are the ones I brought from my old car: my awning and my fridge.
Yeah.
We didn't actually cover that. Give us, you start, Alex, because you just brought this up. Give us 5 items you would take with you from your car.
5, okay.
If you can, get to 5.
Awning, fridge, the drawer system now, probably my spotlights. I'm pretty lost for a 5th, so I'll call it at 4.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, spotties, awning, lights. I might, for me, I might even take my roof platform, because I can just put different bars, because the platform's the same, but between different wagons. So if I got another wagon, I could just put my platform back on. I would probably take my lithium battery and drop an AGM in its place. Spend $250 on an AGM, keep my $1,500 lithium battery, and take because it'll last so long. I can't take my drawers with me, but yeah, pretty well exactly the same.
Cool.
And you?
I would say most removable items, like the obvious ones, like your fridge.
Yeah.
Your nav system, like if you have a separate one.
Oh, yeah.
Any sort of personalised stuff in there, like if there's fluffy dice in there.
Yeah.
They're
You've
coming
got to
with
take
me.
your fluffy
Take
dice.
them.
Well, you got to have a memory of the car, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever I might have left underneath the seat, there's usually $50 there.
Yeah.
And yes, I would go as far to take the fridge, the lithium battery, and drop another battery in. But I'll probably leave the awnings and stuff on it, because just the way I look at it is, someone comes and looks at the car, you either got to take it off beforehand, or they buy it with what it was on it. That's
It also depends on what kind of awning you've got. If you've got a $100 King's awning, off you go. It goes with the car.
Yeah.
If my awning's $2,500 including mounts and delivery, I'm taking that with me, because that'll last many years.
Sure.
Take the King's awning off the car, it'll probably make it worth more.
Yeah, it would. The resale value will go up, in our opinion.
It's just an
In our
opinion.
very strong opinion.
No, this is professional advice. You can take this. Yeah, this, just send your lawyers to Ronny. So this is all
In his opinion.
all advice. This is all of Ronny's professional opinion, and you should sue him if it goes wrong.
Oh my god. On that note, guys, we need to turn these lights off so I can save up for whatever lawsuits coming my way. Any questions, any comments, any suggestions of other things, chuck it down in the comments below. And before we go, I'd like to thank special guests Alex and Harry for being here.
Thanks for having us, mate.
Thanks for having us.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Cheers.
See ya.
See ya.
Who wants a beer?
Sure. About
Very
you.
much enjoying this one.
Maybe some whiskey.